I had a lot of time for things to accumulate on my mind.
That you did.
And I had some things planned for this morning. And then Miss Universe happened last night.
Good child.
And I did watch it live. Miss Universe happens to be my favorite pageant. I like to watch this. I like pageants. I'm a pageant girl. Not that I entered one pageant in my life. That's beside the point. But I like Miss Universe. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I like it. And then Miss South Africa, Zozibini Tunzi,
Boop.
walked away with the crown.
Miss Universe is South Africa.
And it made me emotional.
Tears emotional?
Tears emotional. Like I felt myself. I feel it right now, even speaking. Like I feel emotional seeing her walk away with that crown, because I saw before the pageant, I like to look up all the black contestants, especially the Caribbean and the African representatives, and say, okay, who's representing us this year? Mm-hmm. And she stood out immediately. And I said to myself, she's never going to win. They're never going to pick her with that hair.
4C hair up in the building.
As dark as she is, that's one. And then the hair, she has short, cropped, natural hair.
And not like natural, like what Jamaicans call pretty hair,
not
quote
like
unquote.
Curly hair. Is like
4C.
What Jamaicans call tough head.
Tough head, yep. Mm-hmm.
And so she's become the first black woman since Miss Angola, Layla Lopes, in 2011. And you know the black winners are few and far between. I can recall the last three off the top of my head, because when one of us wins, I celebrate. So you had Layla in 2011, you had Miss Botswana in 1999 in Pule.
The first runner-up is Philippines, the 1999 Miss Universe.
Pule.
And then just before her, 1998, we had back-to-back winners. So we had Miss Trinidad and Tobago, Wendy Fitzwilliam. When I say we, I mean black people.
Yes.
The first runner-up in the 1998 Miss Universe pageant is Miss Venezuela, Miss Universe 1998, Miss Trinidad and Tobago.
And so we're few and far between. And she is also the first black winner with afro-textured hair. Mm. And that to me is a huge deal. Shout out to Davina Bennett, who I like to think paved the way. I think she may have been the first finalist, dark skin, black afro-textured hair to make it. Somebody commented that Zozibini is a mix of Davina and Casey. Because Casey had the short hair, which was unusual for a Miss Universe, especially in the finals as well. And since then, we've seen the trend tending towards that. So last year, we saw Miss Vietnam with a short pixie cut, and she was stunning. And now we see Miss South Africa as the winner. But even more so than her beauty, her outer beauty, which she is. She's a stunning woman. Yeah. She just has a regal presence as well. And then there was what she had to say. This was her message to the audience.
Where a woman who looks like me, with my kind of skin and my kind of hair, was never considered to be beautiful. And I think that it is time that stops today. I want children to look at me and see my face, and I want them to see their faces reflected in mine. Thank you.
What is the most important thing we should be teaching young girls today?
I think the most important thing we should be teaching young girls today is leadership. It's something that has been lacking in young girls and women for a very long time, not because we don't want to, but because of what society has labeled women to be. I think we are the most powerful beings on the world, and that we should be given every opportunity, and that is what we should be teaching these young girls, to take up space. Nothing as important as taking up space in society and cementing yourself. Thank you.
Wow. She just blew me away with that message, and also the talk about leadership. Yeah, Pat?
No, I was just about to say, she goes on in that same clip to say that women mustn't be afraid to occupy space. And those two words resonate with me particularly because Wycliffe Bennett, anybody who would have trained with him at CPTC or throughout his career of molding voices, told you, don't be afraid to occupy space. And just in life, that notion of not just being there, but making your presence felt, I think is something that's so important and impactful and powerful that she left yesterday.
She has left her image on the world, and I'd like to think the universe.
I see what you did
I don't know what other life is out there, but I'd like to think the universe. And it is just such a powerful message that representation matters. And I come back to what I was saying earlier about, I don't know why it makes me so emotional, why I care so much about pageants, why I watch every year and follow the girls and feel like for some reason I'm invested in it. It's because representation matters. To that little girl on the street, that little girl at home who is watching and sees herself in Miss Universe, you know?
Yeah.
That little girl who may, under different circumstances, wanted to bleach her skin and cream her hair and do all the things that society says that she ought to do in order to be beautiful. This says that is not necessary. Standards of beauty finally are catching up with what we already know to be beautiful.
Yeah.
What we already within ourselves, some of us, because not all of us accept that as beauty. And Zozibini herself has posted on her Instagram that she, after being selected Miss South Africa, had received a lot of very unkind comments about her blackness. And she wrote, "To the comments that are aimed at all brown-skinned girls at some points in our lives, not because it hurts me or gets under my skin, but because I see an opportunity to educate and speak out on a serious issue. Society has previously been programmed in such a way that there's nothing beautiful about being black. I'm going into Miss Universe with hopes to shatter whatever misconception and stereotypes people have of beauty. To whoever else thinks that black is not beautiful, I cannot wait for you to experience the depth and magic of a black woman."
Boom.
And trust me, that we all did last night. Meanwhile, in Jamaica, there are still some schools that won't accept children who attend with their hair in the state that it naturally grows from their heads, unless it is somehow tamed in some fashion. And it makes me upset. You guys know I speak a decent amount of hair politics on this show. Whenever these issues come up, I tend to comment on them because it means something to me. And so her win last night, regardless of what you feel about beauty pageants, how you may trivialize beauty pageants, I think her win last night says something to the world. Congratulations to Miss South Africa, our queen, Zozibini Tunzi. Meanwhile, the White Witch of Rose Hall, not even going to say anything.
The time is
6:48.
Not even commenting on that.
My friend, my high school friend, has decided that they know what happened. Canada stole our costume, so we stole theirs back.
Later.